Here's your news for August 23, 2020. And your headlines for today include: last-minute stipulation added to the SummerSlam main event. Karrion Kross is badly injured at NXT TakeOver. Triple H reacts. A one-of-a-kind gimmick match set between Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy. WWE announced a big return next week. WWE to run 3 pay-per-views from Thunderdome. Schedule for remaining 2020 pay-per-views revealed. Seth Rollins comments on absence of Raw star from WWE programming. Chris Jericho and WWE are working out a major deal. What can fans expect? Dominic Mysterio's first WWE merch drops huge hint for his character's direction. AJ Styles reacts to whether WWE is mocking AEW with analytics jokes on SmackDown. Current backstage situation with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar's WWE returns revealed, and more. We're looking ahead to tonight's SummerSlam as the Universal title match has had a major stipulation added. On the return episode of Talking Smack, hosts Xavier Woods and Kayla Braxton confirmed that the match between Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt will now be Falls Count Anywhere. The Monster Among Men took things to a new level on SmackDown by demolishing Wyatt, only for The Fiend to emerge from an ambulance. And we'll have to see who walks away tonight as Universal Champion and where that win will take place. Speaking of titles, we're focusing on NXT TakeOver 30 as Karrion Kross is the new NXT Champion. Whilst this is the biggest win of Kross's career so far in WWE, his win didn't come without sacrifice, as Triple H, in his post-show conference call, said Kross wasn't just selling in the match. It's believed that he's suffered a separated shoulder and will be getting an MRI, and a decision will be made based on the results, though he hopes that his injury is something the company can work around. Medical personnel noticed something was wrong during the main event, though Kross indicated he wanted to continue, and the game also told the media to, quote, "stay tuned" regarding former champion Keith Lee. Hopefully Kross's reign won't have to end before it really begins, but of course, the safety of the new NXT champion always comes first. Over to AEW now, and a huge match has been confirmed for All Out. On Dynamite, Chris Jericho challenged Orange Cassidy to a Mimosa Mayhem match, where the only ways to win are pinfall, submission, or being thrown into the giant tank of mimosa ringside, which will contain 80 tons of OJ and 500 cases of champagne. After Cassidy accepted the match, he was attacked by the Inner Circle, and the segment ended with Jericho pouring champagne over his opponent. This will be the rubber match between the two after Jericho got the win on Night 2 of Fyter Fest, whilst Cassidy tied things up on August 12th. And we'll have to see who gets toasted when the duo meet at All Out on September 5th. Speaking of AEW, this week's Dynamite saw a huge title change as Brody Lee captured the TNT title. Despite rumors of Eric Rowan joining AEW, Lee won the title on his own, essentially squashing Cody Rhodes, and attacked Rhodes on a stretcher after the match. The Dark Order caused more chaos as Anna Jay choked out Brandy Rhodes when she appeared, and we'll have to see how things go now that the Dark Order has the TNT title. A gauntlet match has been announced to determine the next #1 contenders for the AEW tag titles, as the Natural Nightmares will face the Young Bucks, the winners of that will face the Best Friends, and whoever wins that will face FTR. It's interesting that AEW told fans who will be in the match and in what order, but whoever wins will get a shot at Kenny Omega and Hangman Page at All Out. Next week's Dynamite, which will happen on Thursday, will also see Chris Jericho provide commentary, as well as a tables match between Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara. MJF and Jon Moxley will have a contract signing ahead of their AEW World title match at All Out, and with Big Swole facing Britt Baker, Penelope Ford, and Reba in a handicap match, there's plenty of reasons for fans to tune in. Back to NXT now, and during TakeOver 30, a promo aired confirming that Tommaso Ciampa will be returning to the Gold brand next week. This is exciting news for fans, as the former NXT champion is usually involved in important storylines, and after being off TV lately, it'll be interesting to see what the Blackheart has to say, especially about NXT's new top champion. Over to the main roster now, and after the debut of the Thunderdome, fans should get ready for the venue to be used for pay-per-views. As part of the minimum 2-month deal the company has with the Amway Center, WWE will use the Thunderdome for SummerSlam tonight, as well as Payback on August 30th and Clash of Champions on September 27th. The current deal means WWE has the Amway Center until October 30th, though it's possible that this deal could be extended. And if so, fans could be seeing November's Hell in a Cell and Survivor Series, as well as December's TLC events in the Thunderdome. One person fans will see in the Thunderdome is Seth Rollins, who has commented on the absence of his disciple Austin Theory. Theory's been off WWE TV since the June 22nd Raw, and though no explanation was given on screen, Dave Meltzer noted that Theory's serving an unannounced suspension. Speaking to Sporting News, Rollins said, "He had some personal issues that came up, so he took some time off to sort through them for the past month or two. It's hard right now, but we hope everything's good for him." Even without Theory, Rollins will have Murphy by his side tonight when he faces Dominic Mysterio at SummerSlam. One person who won't be at SummerSlam or WWE at all is Kenta, as the former Hideo Itami isn't eager to return. After his 2019 WWE release, Kenta joined New Japan, and this week won the first ever New Japan Cup USA. Speaking to Sports Illustrated, Kenta described his 5 years in WWE as the most frustrating days of his life, and says he'll never forget the humiliation of working there. Clearly, Kenta is much happier in New Japan, and given that he also called out IWGP US Champion Jon Moxley in his post-Cup USA win, an appearance in AEW may be possible. Back to WWE, and Payback will take place 1 week from tonight, and we now know of another match planned for the show. According to Fightful Select, Matt Riddle and King Corbin will face off at Payback, which is why they haven't had a match booked for SummerSlam. It's been previously reported that WWE is having a lot of issues with Payback, with a lot of plans changing. But for now, fans can expect to see the King of Bros and the King of the Ring face off next Sunday. Over to AEW again, as Chris Jericho has locked down names he wants to make sure no one else uses. According to PW Insider, Jericho and WWE agreed on June 1st to transfer ownership of 2 Jericho trademarks back to him, but added, "WWE will only transfer ownership of his name, but will still own any intellectual property created by either of them during his run with the company in perpetuity." That means monikers like Y2J will still belong to WWE, but given Jericho's skill at coming up with nicknames, something Johnny Gargano recently pointed out, it won't be long until a champion has a new moniker to use on AEW programming. Now, recently, WWE took a ton of content featuring Bret Hart off of the network, and now we know why. Though there was speculation of conflict between Bret and Vince McMahon, that wasn't the case, as it was explained in the Wrestling Observer. Hart called Mark Carrano and told him they needed to take his footage off it because he owns it. Carrano told Bret that they owned the footage and to take it up with legal. Hart texted Vince, who said he would look into it, and when Vince realized that Hart owned it, he took everything down. Though WWE outbid the Fight Network to own the footage from Stampede Wrestling, they don't own the footage with Bret in it, as that's something the Hitman had already purchased. When the Hart Family DVD was released in 2010, Bret didn't raise a fuss about the footage he owns being used, as he didn't want to cause issues for Natalya, Tyson Kidd, and D.H. Smith, who were there at the time. This is clearly an unusual set of circumstances that's led to WWE taking down documentaries featuring footage they don't technically own, and we'll have to see how this plays out the next time the company wants to do a documentary on the excellence of execution. From a legend of the ring to a fresh face, as Dominic Mysterio has received his first piece of merch, which may be teasing a big change. On the new shirt, half of Dominic's face is covered by a mask, which implies he'll be following in his father's footsteps, and given that a crown is featured over his initials on the back of the shirt, it's likely he'll be using the Prince Mysterio name. Rey Mysterio recently copyrighted the term Prince Mysterio, a play on the fact that Rey is Spanish for king, and with Rey showing support for Dominic competing as Prince Mysterio, time will tell what persona Dominic will have ahead of his in-ring debut tonight. Over to SmackDown now, and recently Joseph Park debuted on the Blue brand to be the numbers guy for AJ Styles. Whilst the segments with the former Abyss have been entertaining, many have seen them as a dig at AEW's Tony Khan, and on his Twitch stream, Styles responded to articles saying it was an intentional shot, saying, "That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, why? I feel like maybe the information they were getting from whoever it was, from dirt sheets and whatnot, are just not there anymore. It was not a shot. It was a story. It had nothing to do with Tony Khan." WWE was also accused of mocking Khan by allegedly basing the Robert Stone character after him, and whilst there's always a possibility that this has been a deliberate shot at their competition, it's just equally as likely that fans are connecting dots that just simply aren't there. And finally, today we're looking at the absences of Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, and it looks like this trend will continue. Recently, it was reported that WWE could be close to bringing both men back as part of the company's Thunderdome, as the new venue is a much bigger environment that Lesnar is accustomed to, and more hygienic for Reigns, who opted against competing due to the health of his family. Now though, Steve Carrier of Ringside News has refuted those claims, saying, "We were explicitly told anyone saying it is going to happen is just saying something out of their ass because even the most top-secret document doesn't reflect it. If either Reigns or Lesnar are returning soon, then the company are keeping things top secret. But for now, don't expect to see these two former world champions in the Thunderdome anytime soon."